And then what I did was I told lots of friends of mine who were in on the joke to start tweeting me congratulations. So you had all of these verified accounts from different media organizations saying, oh my good, well, unusual choice, but well done, congratulations, yeah. Well, BuzzFeed, that's brave. And so it was over last Christmas. And so I had all of these, and BuzzFeed was sent into a panic. There was a company-wide meltdown as they were trying to work out if this was true. And if I'd been hired by somebody and they just didn't know about it, and the editor-in-chief was like, did I, what? The legal editor was like, no. And so this is where my most favorite, my most cherished expression comes from. Just after I had appointed myself social justice editor of BuzzFeed on Twitter, I posted a poll which said, would you rather your child had feminism or cancer? And 22,000 people responded. And the 22,000 people answered resoundingly, cancer! Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And then they took my verification badge away. You do not, America, have to worry about the waspishness from a gay conservative columnist. You do not have to worry about the alt-right. You do not have to worry about conservatives. You do not have to worry even about the KKK, which is a sort of irrelevance, a threat magnified and dreamed up these days. Not always, of course, but these days, a sort of spectre thrown up on the wall by progressive media. You do have to worry about Black Lives Matter. Burning communities, normally their own, but other people live there too. You do, if you're a student, have to worry about the excesses of modern feminism, which could see you thrown out of university, your reputation destroyed, and even your liberty lost, thanks to kangaroo courts, where the burden of proof is, does she say it happened? And you do have to worry about Islam. You do have to worry about a culture sweeping into this country, profoundly antithetical to your values. You do have to worry about that. And if Hillary Clinton's president is going to be a reality for you, and as a gay man, I entreat you not to make that choice. Don't go in that direction, please. I am just a visitor to your great nation, but it is very clear to me that this country needs to build the wall, fix trade, smash political correctness, and elect Donald Trump. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I know that you're all anxious to get home and see the debate, and so am I. So I can write something awful about it tomorrow. So I'm going to go as late as I'm allowed. It's 8:15 now, so I think we should probably try and get out of here by, let's say, 8:35. So you can rush home and hopefully not miss too much at the beginning. And I won't be offended at all if some of you have longer ways to travel, longer journeys to go on. If you do need to slip out, then by all means feel free. I won't call you out and be mean to you. But I'm very happy to take a couple of questions. I think there's going to be a microphone. Is that it? Somewhere? Is it here? Over there. Over there. You can go and queue up over there.
There's one here too.
No, not there.
Which one?
Oh, here. Is it just here or is it in both places?
Milo.
There's two.
Here. Here. There. Oh, it's there. No, I see it now. Oh, it's there and there. Fine. And I'm going to try and give brief answers, which I'm not very good at. And we're going to go until. Yeah, I'll try and do it for about 20 minutes or something, and then I know that we want to get home and watch the debate.
Yeah.
You're a protester.
No, she's with us.
All right, let's start on the right-hand side. We'll get through as many as we can.
Is this thing on? Great.
Yes.
First off, I just want to thank you for being a beacon through the liberal media's bias on Gamergate and helping people find some real blood libel on their side during that whole event. So thank you very much for that.
I appreciate that.
My question for you would be, considering I am wearing a shirt that apparently now makes me a Nazi, it's an IDF shirt, if Donald Trump is elected, do you have a position you would like to see him take for the Israeli-Palestinian conflict?
Yes, and this is one of the many places in which I part company with what has come to be called the alt-right. I'm probably the last unreconstructed Zionist in Europe. I'm about as firm a supporter of Israel as it's possible to be. And the alt-right and many of Trump's... The alt-right and many of Trump's supporters, perfectly reasonably, are concerned about America getting itself entangled in foreign conflicts, particularly those as interminable and incomprehensible as they are to young people, I have to say, as the Israel-Palestine conflict. My view is the traditional conservative view, I have to say, which is that Israel is an absolutely essential bulwark against the Islamic Middle East, that we are weaker without it. And that we should do everything possible to protect it. And when I say everything possible, I mean absolutely nothing is off the table.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, please.
Hello, my name is Sarah.
Hello.
This is my husband, Justin. This is my baby, Elijah.
Oh, you have a child?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, in there?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, look, sorry.
He weighs 1 pound
my
and 3
eyesight's
ounces.
bad, but it's not that bad. Right,
Oh, no, this is my baby.
I see now.
Something that I think is of particular interest to women, and I know there's not a lot of women here, is what is your opinion on Hillary Clinton's ties to Planned Parenthood and her belief that women should be allowed to kill viable children at 36 weeks. My child is 23 weeks, and if he was born, he'd have approximately a 50% chance of survival. I know that because I'm a nurse, but Hillary Clinton believes that I should have the right to kill him for another 13 weeks, even though we could easily deliver him. Yeah. And I've never heard you talk about that, and I think that's something that women really care about.
Well, they might not like my answer, because partly as a Catholic and partly also because it seems to me completely self-evidently obvious, murder is murder. There's a difference between the sexes, whether women have to be wired this way, otherwise they couldn't function. But I can't imagine if men bore children that they would go around slaughtering them. I just can't see it happening. I can't imagine that bit of a male... I have a male-ish brain. I can't imagine that. Maybe women have that in their brain because they need to cope with, sometimes when things go wrong, they need to be able to get over it. But for me, I draw the line very, very, very far back, or probably to conception, as far as abortion goes. And I know that Trump has sort of waffled on this issue, let's be honest. And I know that some of his supporters are younger and have bought into the, successive generations of progressive propaganda about pro-life. But my position is that murder is murder, and you shouldn't do it.
Thank you.
Hi, Milo. I can't wait to see you on the cover of GQ magazine.
Well, thank you. It's surely only a matter of time. Although I did do a photo shoot for GQ Australia, which I think is out next month.
Oh, wow.
Since you mention it, just coincidentally.
Great.
No, I mean, honestly, I did. I did it in New York a few weeks ago, so I don't think it'll be the cover, but I'll at least get into a GQ, even if it's only Australia. No offense, guys.
That's great. Okay, my question is, Milo, what steps do you think can be taken to break the stranglehold of political correctness on academia?
Okay, you have three really useful weapons at your disposal. One is facts, because we're right and they're wrong, and politely insisting on that all of the time is your best weapon. 2 is we have a sense of humor, and they don't. And 3, you have your middle finger. The first thing you should do is politely, respectfully point out why you think they may be wrong. If you are shouted down, if they call you names, if you are accused of being I got called a white supremacist by the entire gay press recently. Mystifying. I mean, you laughing along with some of my jokes, so you know enough about my private life to know why it's dumb. But so weird. And it's like, where do you go from there? Like, I've got a 40-year career, guys. I'm not going anywhere. And if you're calling me like a Nazi, and Huffington Post called me compared me to Ernst Röhm, who was the gay Nazi. Well, they didn't approach me for a quote, but if they had, I would have said the only thing I've got in common with Ernst Röhm is that I too have been found in compromising positions with men in uniform. But if they just name call, they just call you names. And being called a racist is the worst thing you can call somebody because it has a habit of sticking even when it's not true. And that's why I hate it so much, because it's an awful, awful, awful thing to do to somebody, is to brand them a racist, because this stuff tends to hang around them, even if it is wildly untrue. And I hate them for that. I really hate them for that. I hate them for doing it to you guys, and I hate them for doing it to me. But if they start name-calling and all the rest of it, then the best response is laughter, and the best response is to be twice as funny as they are, being ridiculous. And if all else fails, just flip them off. Because nothing bad happens when you tell social justice warriors to go fuck themselves. Nothing bad happens. Nothing bad happens. The only time, really the only time they get people is when they scent weakness. They're like sharks, when they scent blood in the water. It's the only time that you'll get into trouble. If you're brazen about it, they'll call your names and you'll become persona non grata in polite society. Well, I think everybody in this room has decided polite society ain't that fucking great. And if you're voting for Donald Trump, you've already decided that punk is your preferred direction. That you are perfectly comfortable being ostracized from the nice tea rooms because you want to start fires in the street, figuratively speaking.
Not literally.
We leave that to the left. Nothing bad happens. Just tell them to, don't tell them to kill themselves, but tell them to go fuck themselves. I can't give you any better advice than that. Polite, respectful insistence on facts. Be funny, which isn't that hard because they are ridiculous. And if all else fails, just ignore them. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey Milo, thanks for coming out tonight. First of all, on the Technicolor coat, maybe you should confiscate her coat. No one, all right.
Not your best.
Yeah, sorry.
Give us another one.
Yeah. So my question is on the evolution of...
Oh, I get it now.
Ah!
No, I get it.
There you go.
No, you know when the protesters were whinging and he was like, take their coat. Yeah. So you know what? That was actually me. That was me. I apologize. That was me.